Welcome to the Do You Get podcast.
Because I don't think they get.
Actually gets, but do they get?
No, they don't get. Do you get that they don't get?
They
that
don't get
that
this
they don't get.
philosophy. They
No,
don't get this philosophy.
They don't get it.
We
You don't get it. If you don't get it, forget about it.
Hello. Welcome to the Do You Get podcast, and this is Florence.
Hi guys, welcome back to a new episode of the Do You Get podcast. And today we have a very special guest. Oh my goodness.
It's giving VVIP guest.
V. All the V's.
Original Prime Minister.
Period.
What else?
Number one. all the hype.
I don't even know the full
my
sound.
brain.
That's crazy.
Honestly. But we can do that one. The Emperor, the Lion, the Champion,
Conqueror,
all of them. They have arrived.
What's going on here?
They have
today?
actually arrived. Well, today on the podcast we have my friend Feyi. Oh my goodness!
Will you guys put like effects in this part where they're like clapping? Oh no.
I think we
tried to
have
add it
that. We
manually,
actually
but-
have that. Okay. You want me to join?
No. Florence will put it in. That's Raz now.
I
Florence will help
think
us and
this
edit
thing
it.
that we have here has that thing where you can add. I don't remember how to do it though. But
Okay, for the
Don't
next
worry,
time when
we'll
I
add
join
it.
you guys.
Yeah,
do
next
it.
time.
Let's
Next time.
upgrade.
Oh wait.
Okay, but hi guys. What should I say? My name, my country. I
Oh,
don't
wait.
really this introduction.
So today on the podcast we have my friend Feyi. She is obviously Nigerian. Well, it's not obvious, sorry. A Nigerian baddie, hottest cake, baddest content creator, baddest hairdresser, book her link in her Instagram bio,
Only me.
artist,
You
creative,
if we put when we
stylist,
when we
best dresser.
Simi, allow me to talk now.
Let me finish hyping her. We have a big person in this.
Please, I don't only want typing. Can you just spray some money? Because funds are loose, so we just help girls and spray some cash.
No,
Sorry,
but like
sorry.
I really love your hair, and she actually did it herself. Like once you guys go to our Instagram, you guys will see the hair.
Go and book her.
you.
Based in the DFW area.
Yeah,
Book her
Please,
ASAP.
I beg, please, just
Slots are
actually-
filling up. Book her
you get.
quick.
It's like
You
Yeah,
guys
it's
say
fine.
book her. Have you booked her?
I booked though.
She has though.
I booked. I don't play games. I don't play games.
She don't play. She gets down.
games.
Like
Period. But yes, we have Feyi. Feyi. Hi, welcome.
hi, thank you for having me on the podcast. I'm actually so shy, but like, thank you for having me.
Yes.
We're happy to have you.
Yep. Feyi is our number one supporter. I'm sure if you go and click on all Instagram, you see, like by Feyi Omotewa, you see
No,
there.
because listen, I'm of the belief that if your friends don't support you or cheer you on, who's going to do it, And I get your people will find you, but I genuinely I'm of the belief that your friends should always just how celebrities uplift their own friends and everything. Don't wait till your friend is famous before you now start supporting them. Support them.
Can some of
in the
my
growing
friends hear
process.
this because
They take notes, jot things down.
jot it down because I'll send this thing to them and be like, did you hear what Faye said?
Period.
But
Oh my god, Jinx. Why am I shy this episode? This is crazy.
It's
Okay.
because I'm here. And I'm
Yeah.
not interested in you. It's because I'm here. It's okay, sir.
Your presence is just
No, don't blush too much. It's okay.
your face is red to me. I'm not even going to lie. It's
Red.
It's turning
like
red.
from blushing.
Yes.
That is
it's
crazy.
red.
That is crazy.
No
That
dark
is
skin girls to
crazy.
be blushing, so
It's turning
Oh
red.
wow. Oh, makeup artist. I forgot to add that. Sorry. You see
Add
when
it.
the
Add it to the
list is
resume.
when the list is plenty, it's
But
hard.
don't hit me up for your makeup, please. I beg. Hit me up
Okay.
for your hair.
Respect our wishes. Hair only. Hair only. Period. Good. But how are you guys? How's your week? How have you guys been doing?
I've got to a realization of something.
Ah.
that I don't know how to explain it. That's what I've been experiencing this whole week. That the person that I think I am in my brain and the person I actually am are two different people.
Hmm.
It's not, it's okay. For instance, right? I was listening to music, right? You know, like when in my head, I can do the dance really, really well. But you know, I've never actually tried it.
I hope you tried it inside, not outside.
And then when I try it, I'm like, God, you look so raz. Like but in my head, I'm like, you know what? I'm this champion dancer. Like,
You know what? I love the delusional energy. You have to actually stay
ah,
delusional because, like, where will you go if you're not actually delusional?
Exactly.
that's how I've been
Keep it up.
feeling this week. Like, I need to
Keep it up,
match my
Feyi.
reality.
No, actually, don't match it. You just need to stay that way. Because after you stay that way for a long time, you wake up one day and you can actually do it.
That's true.
Yes,
That's true.
yes,
That's true.
actually,
But there's
yeah.
some things I feel like I can never do, like leg walk.
I'm
That
actually
it
dead.
looks so hard. Like it looks
At
so
your age,
hard.
Simi,
I
at
Do you know
your
what?
cannot,
After that
age.
first level of leg work, I think I
bro.
left it to the rest of them. Everybody else can handle it. After that first level, all the butterfly, the rest, I'm sorry.
Bro.
Oh my God, I feel
I'm
like I look
sorry.
so raz
Gosh.
doing butterfly. Even if I know like the step, like the basic steps, like I feel like I look so raz. There's this video you people keep throwing around from Vegas. I don't know why people keep throwing that video around. It's so much. You and Chika.
Wait, were
Bro,
you doing
because
leg work in the video?
Yes,
yeah.
and it doesn't look good.
Damn.
Doesn't look good.
I actually think it looks good. That's why I use it, but now that you've said it, I'm using it again. I feel like when Florence is dancing, like something has taken over her.
It's a spiritual
Especially when she
something.
pulls out that butterfly, it's no longer jokes. We're not playing games. It's
It's no
serious.
longer Florence, a different person.
Bro.
Oh God.
And her face, everything, she's giving it to us. 10-10. She's not playing any games, bro. So, now that I know, I won't use that video again. I won't use it again.
But how are you guys doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm fine. I think my biggest I don't even know how to feel about it, but I just feel like this week, everybody who has been going back home, whether it's Lagos or Accra, wherever you're going,
Mm.
like, I'm living for the content, but also, I don't want to get ready with you to go to Zaza. I don't like in my head, I'm like, take me with you, but I'm also like, you're doing too much, like,
Right.
Every month you have attended wedding, every month you follow me to go to Mama Put, every month you
This
follow me to
30
go to my
December is
grandma's house.
shege that we're going to see.
I
All
swear,
of
and
us
then
in
the
the
worst is not that
diaspora,
thing,
shege.
what if I recorded every single day of my life?
My life
Leave me alone.
forever.
Like, leave me alone. So that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I'm very much like enjoying, like, I'm living through, everybody who's going back home, but I'm also like,
Yeah.
damn, like,
Mm.
that's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One day to be
100%
us.
agree.
No one day.
But the thing is, I'm scared that one day I'll actually go back December and I'm in my yard. I'm not doing anything. There's nothing
That's
happening.
actually your business. That's your cross to carry.
There's nothing
You are
major
responsible for that.
happening.
No, because this summer I'll call Simi. I'm like, oh, Simi, what's the vibe? She's
I
like,
was
oh,
at home.
I'm at home. I'm cooking. I'm like,
Bro,
Simi, when did you leave
like,
this place to go there and just be sitting
this
inside?
summer I had an agenda, which is to get my visa. That was what I was working on. I needed, like, in and out. But my issue is, like, I always feel like, how do people know what's happening? Because I feel like, example, like with college, is like everybody knows what's happening that weekend to an extent. Like, even if you are not invited, like, by the person that's throwing it or whatever, you know what the moves are. But I feel like with night, there's so many moves. And like connects are so important. Like, you cannot, in fact, if you want to go there, go. But what you use your eyes to see is between you and God. If you don't have connects, or you don't know how to get in, or if you don't know the right people. And me, I hate embarrassment. I hate embarrassment. And I also live on the mainland. I will not travel all the way to the island to go and see Shaggy.
Sorry.
Lie.
I feel that, like, and I also feel like we actually just lost train of my thoughts. That's actually insane. Oh yeah, I also feel like going home in summer is like, yeah, there's like vibes and everything, but like it's not as like much as December. So
yeah.
And then not as many people are like at home during summer. People are just like working. So like I feel like December is like really, really the festive period. So like you can't really, because if you're at home during summer, I'm like, okay, like it's fine because there's nothing like much to do. But like if you're at home in December, then I don't know what you're doing.
Literally.
Yeah.
And this girl was saying in one of her, what if I recorded every day forever? What's her name? Timmy Otedola. She was saying that she feel like this Dirty December is overrated. Because, like, why would you want to sit down in traffic and, like, all that? But then Mr. Easy was now saying, like, yeah, but it's for people that, it's because everybody's coming home that time. So it's not necessarily for people that always frequently. Because she was like, she's had better nights in October, for example, than in December.
Yeah.
But Mr. Easy was trying to explain, like, yeah, but that's like your base, you're there. Interesting time. It's more for people that, because like I also kind like my mom hates December because of that traffic. She's just annoyed. She's just like,
I feel like everybody is always
much.
saying something about IJGBs and how they're
That's also
vibes. So.
Yeah. I literally watched this TikTok about this girl talking about like the Yahooization of Lagos. And
oh my
then she
god, I
did, like,
saw
a
that
part two.
TikTok.
Like in my head, I was like, that's so like spot on. And then she did like a part 2 on like her issues with Dirty December and like how it's basically just people like mostly like the elites doing things for the elites and it's by the elites. So it's like the people who actually live in Lagos and like grow up there are not really like benefiting in terms of like profit wise or like exposure wise or like even just like enjoyment wise. Like if you see people's stories, people who are coming back from like the abroad is just the vibes are different from people who are like who have been like in Lagos going through it. So I was like, damn, that's actually so true.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be us, and that's like I've started to tell myself like, yeah, actually an IGGB. Like one, because I was having a conversation with someone last week, and he was like, yeah, because he was born and raised in America, so he was like, I've been an IGGB since I was born, and he claimed it. I was like, I've never heard anybody say that. Because like,
I've never had anybody be proud of it.
If someone called me IGGB, I would be vexed because I feel like they're like, yeah, like the night is my country, bro. Don't play.
Yeah,
I'm like, Jesus.
I feel like at this point we have to accept
I don't
things.
Want to genuinely.
Yeah,
I
just
really
like
don't
there should be a
to.
cut-off age. Like if you left like before like the age of 13, then you should be called an IJGB. Really, I don't know, in my head, like because I left out when I was like 19, so I'm just I'm one with these guys. Like
literally, I've been there more than I've been here. Like those are my roots.
Yeah.
I left very early, so.
Damn. Also, you are the IJGB.
I don't like to say aloud, but I get.
Yeah,
it's okay. Be who you are. Be who you are, babe. Be yourself.
Yeah,
I get it.
There's nothing wrong with this.
At least I've not lost my accent completely. Thank God. So.
Yeah, but why are people always afraid to lose that? Like for you, why are you afraid to lose your accent? Do you think it's to make people question if you're really Nigerian, quote unquote?
Because I just feel I don't know. I actually don't know. I think it's an identity thing for me. Like I don't want to blend. I don't know. It's an identity thing for me, and I don't want to lose that. If that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Why I'm so scared to lose it. Also, American accent. Please forgive me.
It's not giving.
But it's not anything to acquire. Like it's not any like. As a kid, maybe I would have been feeling somehow like, oh, maybe let me blend in or whatnot. But like in general, like American accent is not anything that like everybody should jump to acquire. Like it's how you talk. That's fine.
Yeah. I also feel like it's easier to pick an accent as a child because you're still learning.
Yeah, and I didn't come like also at home. Everybody speaks like normal without normal accent. Also, and I also didn't come in a very formative time. I came kind of in the clips of everything. I came in middle school, like when I was 13 or 14.
Okay, so you're like partially IJGB.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh God, please don't call me IJGB, please.
I'm weak.
Please.
Yeah.
It's just an identity thing. I think when you grow up in Nigeria, like, or grow up in whatever country, I feel like you just don't want to lose that. You just want to continue being connected to that somehow. Yeah. At least for me, Sha. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. Anyways.
So we're moving into the blind section. But there's a twist because obviously nobody's blind this week. No dilemma, but it's okay. We have a dilemma that I saw something online which I wanted to bring up because It was interesting. So I feel like there's this influence. Her name is Sophiology. I feel like Feyi and I have spoken about her before. Yes.
Is it the Christian
Wonderful.
BBL?
Yes. The Christian BBL.
Hallelujah.
Amen. Now, for context, for those of you who doesn't know, there's this she's a content creator. She creates on YouTube primarily. I think I don't think I've really seen her anything else, but she's a YouTuber. She got a BBL. Now I haven't watched this video completely. I've only seen clips online.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, she got a BBL and she tagged it as a Christian BBL. Even in the title of the video, it says Christian BBL. And then I've seen a clip. I don't know if this clip is real. She was talking about how she feels like God will not have put her in a position to get a BBL if he didn't approve of the BBL.
I'm just trying to. I'm trying to understand.
I just feel like there's this thing in social media. I don't know if it's social media or society that people just want to put a label on something that doesn't need to be like taken too deeply in general.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know which one is Christian BBL. I don't know why you can't just call it a BBL. Like I just feel like maybe people are trying to create like different, I don't know, put a label to something so that they identify. Like there's just things like I'll pop up on things that, the way people, certain content creators, for instance, like they'll be like, oh, I'm a Christian. Like somebody's a Christian and they go to the gym and then they'll attach something to it. A Christian
gym rat.
I don't know, something like that. Like maybe, and then like maybe that affects the way they dress in the gym, which is fine, like understandable, but it doesn't you don't always have to attach a label to something. I don't know. So Christian BBL, maybe where can I get that one? Maybe special BBL. That BBL.
I don't understand. Maybe there's anointing inside the BBL. I'm not sure.
Twitter was going crazy that day.
Yeah, literally, I haven't even seen the video. I only saw it on TikTok and Twitter, and in my head, I was just like, why not just call it a BBL?
BBL.
And then that whole thing of like God putting you like in the position to get a BBL, like I'm not sure what that means. Does it mean that God gave her money or like? I
maybe
don't know,
that's what it meant, but like still, Christian BBL.
Yeah,
even if
crazy.
God gave you the money and resources to do it, why do you have to say
call you?
You can actually have a BBL and go to church. You don't have to say God told you to get a BBL. You can actually go to
ask you,
like
Sister Sophie, what happened to your
do you know the crazy thing? I didn't even know she got a BBL.
Because her hair was already big, yeah.
Exactly.
So
if she kept it hush.
And things like it's 2023, nobody's going to judge you. Like,
do you understand?
I mean, go and get your BBL.
To be fair, there are people that would. Maybe
that's their
her family members.
Okay, now she has told the whole world that she had a Christian BBL. Did they go to stop her family? Like, I feel like BBL has become so normalized, which is not even a good thing in and of itself, but whatever. It's not anything to be ashamed of anymore. Everybody and their daddy has a BBL.
Literally. Like, just
I wanted to get my own BBL.
What stops you?
I don't have money.
Poverty die.
You guys, first Christian BBL is loading.
Poverty die. Once God puts you in the position,
yes,
and
then I'll come on this podcast and say I'm getting a Christian BBL.
Hallelujah.
This one has been anointed by the Lord because
exactly.
Oh,
yeah, because she said I don't think she clapped back, but I saw another clip where she was saying like, this is why people are afraid of Christians or are afraid of Christianity because Christians are too judgmental because she got a BBL. Da da da.
I don't think people are being judgmental. They point.
Yeah, I think people are just wondering why Christian
BBL, like
because a BBL is a BBL. But I think at the end of the day, there's something about like being in the public eye in like any form, whether you're an influencer or like you just have like a platform or something. Like they always say like no, what's it called? How they say like all publicity is like good publicity. So like even if like she's saying like Christian BBL, she might have wanted it to like be like a standout thing, like for the algorithm to like
Yeah.
pick people who are Christian and people who are into BBLs, and like that whole crowd is gonna be full. So do
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? Like, so now she has
Yeah.
like a new target audience. Cause like
That's true.
in my head, like babes
That
was
makes sense.
like her market before was very much like you want to be a baddie, like you like my lifestyle, that kind of stuff. But now she's putting in two different audiences that were probably like never really going to like tune into her content before.
Yeah.
And like honestly speaking,
Mm,
even if it's like what's it called, even if it seems like controversial right now, like I said, like all publicity is good publicity because
Exactly.
she's still gonna like grow in engagement like on TikTok on because the
Bro.
thing is I've never seen her on my TikTok. But all of a sudden,
Exactly.
I've seen like 3 videos on my
I'll,
TikTok in the past 2 weeks now because of this Christian
Mm-hmm.
BBL. So
yeah.
like she's gonna grow in some way or the other. So,
Yeah.
but like I personally believe that like whatever you're doing in terms of like publicity should be pure. Even though like all publicity is good publicity, like in my just morally speaking, I'm just
Yeah.
like I only do what I think like
Mm-hmm.
is good. Not just because I want to now drag like a new like audience, like
I mean, one
Christians
day
and
now
people like I don't
we'll
know.
see everybody saying Christian BBL. So
Yeah,
maybe she'll
yeah.
That's
start a
true.
trend.
She's gonna influence some Christian girlies who
She's
have
our
been insecure about
influence.
their bodies. So they're
Exactly. To
BBL.
get
Yeah.
BBL. Because
Yeah,
that
and
might
like
have
Yeah.
even been right why she said it that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that might not necessarily be like a bad thing or a good thing, but it's just like I guess maybe she's just trying to find her people who
Mm-hmm.
agree. So you know
Yeah.
how the way like Christianity is like I always say like everything that exists, like there's a spectrum for it. Like there are people who are like we must follow every single thing that in the Bible, and then there are people like, oh, I love the ideology of this, but I also don't really like what it says about like the body image or like this like and just things like that. So like maybe she's one of those people
Mm.
that's just like, well, me, I love my Jesus, blah blah blah, but I still want a BBL. So now she came and said I'm a Christian with a BBL and called it
Yeah.
a Christian BBL. So
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly. And there's
yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong.
I mean, I don't know.
But
That's
it's
across
still
the carry,
funny.
but I'm praying for
It's
her.
just funny.
It's still
Like,
funny. Like
yeah, I don't
I'll
know.
always laugh at it. So
I was
that's how.
no
Definitely.
Twitter had me crying, and now I wish I saved some Twitter I could read them. I was dying of laughter. It
Should
was
I
so
get
funny.
Twitter? I feel like if I get my Twitter back,
You should.
I'm just going to be on my phone and I'm being
Twitter is
avoiding my
easily one
phone.
of the best social media platforms
Twitter
ever.
and TikTok together, like I
Bro,
just feel like those
forget
are the two
Instagram.
combos you need in life. Like all the
Literally.
rest, like meh. I mean,
I
apart
feel
from
like
Pinterest, but
Twitter
like
got toxic for me. So maybe if I do get Twitter
Mm,
again, I have to like really tailor the people I follow.
yeah. All you need is African Twitter or Black
yeah,
Twitter,
or Black Twitter,
UK
you're good.
Twitter, all those ones. I don't know what else I don't know what's going on American Twitter. That one's between them and God. But yeah,
Screaming.
yeah.
Anyways, we're going into the next section called If You Don't Get It,
Forget
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 About
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 It.
it.
it. Period.
Period.
And in this section, we're talking to Faye obviously about content creating. And we just wanted to know what inspired you to get into content creating. Tell us your story, your source, everything that brings
Your
you
Chicken
sauce.
and sauce.
brings
VKM.
you into this career. Is it I think it's a career
Yeah.
now. Yeah, it's a career.
Honestly, I don't even know what it is right now, but we'll get into that later.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I think for me, like, the reason why I started like content creation was because I wanted to be seen.
Mm.
So like I
Hmm.
always like I don't know how to explain it. It's not like I was an underdog or anything, like I had this like sad story growing up or anything. But I just genuinely felt like I wasn't really like seen. Like I wasn't really noticed.
Mm.
Like in terms of like things like beauty and stuff
Hmm.
like that, like I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and like actually like a few weeks ago, a few months ago, and we're talking about how like when you grow up, like especially like in Nigeria, there's a lot of like colorism, and
Mm.
um like when you grow up and you're not like the fairest or like the prettiest girl like in your class, you have to either be funny or smart. And she was telling me how she picked being funny, and I was telling her
Mm.
how I picked being smart.
Mm-hmm.
And so like when you're smart, like people like know your name and like they know this person is good with this, but they don't see you. And
Yeah.
I still felt like I
Hmm.
was missing out on something because I wasn't being seen. And apart
Yeah.
from that, like I also like just grew up with like parents who were very like artistic. So like my dad was like in the advertising agency, and my
Mm-hmm.
mom just like
Hmm.
taking pictures, and my brother was a photographer at some point. So it was very much like it like I just wanted to express myself in one way or the other. And I remember the first time I can say I actually created content was like during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually terribly depressed, and the only thing that kept me going was these YouTube videos of these girls trying on synthetic wigs. Because at that point, I was in
Mm,
like, I think I was like in sophomore year, like in like the beginning of sophomore year, and
right.
Mm-hmm.
I was very, very like, obviously, you don't have money. How much are they paying us on campus? Like, it's not giving. But like, I was like, oh, I want to bust down, but like, I can't afford like a human hair wig or something. So I was
Yeah.
watching these like synthetic wig videos, and I was like, wait, these are not actually bad though. So I saw
Mm-hmm.
this particular one. It was like black, straight, everything. I bought the wig from like the website, and then I took a picture of it and I posted it on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And like I tagged the website, just I tagged the what's it called, people, which was like Diva
Mm-hmm.
Trust, and like they've literally been working with me ever since then. And because like they literally like immediately like DM'd me, they were like, hey, do you want to work with us? And from there, like it
Okay.
was just like history. So that was kind of how I like started and like why I started in the first place.
Hmm.
That is so cool. Oh
That
my
is so
gosh.
cool.
Needed.
No, because first of all, Divatress, sound out hey English, please. Faye put me on Divatress. That my grad wig. It's Faye that put me on that wig. That wig is
Oh yeah, it
ridiculously
was
incredible.
smooth.
Like even my mom was like, "What is this from?" It was
Yeah,
synthetic
no,
body,
they be eating because like
bro. That shit was good. But I think I can definitely relate to what you said about growing up in Nigeria, colorism. I never thought of it that way until you said it, and like a light bulb just like clicked in my brain because yeah, I chose being smart because I didn't really have a choice. I really didn't. Like I never knew people had never told me in my life ever that you're funny until I got to Costa Rica. I never thought I was funny,
Mm.
oh really?
legitimately.
Okay.
I was just like, you're smart, you're smart, you're smart, you're smart. And that's all I was known for. And that's the only way I could be seen, like you said. And it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. It's crazy when you don't think about something and then somebody says it and then it's like, oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's what just happened with what Faye said. That is definitely true. And I wonder why it's like that. Like, why must it be either or? Is it because we're girls? Because we, I don't know. I think it might be because we're girls because I feel like, God, please. I feel like I just don't want anybody to swallow me what I'm about to say. That's why I pause. I feel like the way we're raised as women in Nigeria and just like the way secondary school is, especially like boarding school or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you're like we care so much about how the boys saw us,
Mm-hmm.
but the boys didn't give a damn how we saw them. Because
Like
some of the things those boys were doing, I'm like, what the
the
heck?
way they
But
were talking, the way they were dressing, you just be like, Jesus Christ, like what is this?
Mm-hmm.
literally, but we catered so much to how, you know, they saw us. Like even all those finest girls is fucking hell.
Literally, I'll be thinking about
Like
how in my year there was like no finest boy list, but there was always a finest girl list. Then they will now do what's it called? They will now say because me and my best friend like we really really dark skin. They will
mhm,
now say, oh, we'll do a separate list for dark skin. Like I was like,
Choosers.
damn, like that's
that is
crazy.
That's
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah. It was I don't know. It's insane that we think that way and I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I hope it's no longer like that. I actually don't know anyone that's still in secondary school, so I don't know how it is. Well,
I
it
went
needs
to an
to
all girls
change.
school and I don't I don't think that I mean I didn't really pay attention to that, but I think moving from Nigeria to here,
Hmm.
I think my insecurities like with how I looked and how I felt in my own body and my own skin, like my insecurities went up moving
Hmm.
from Nigeria to here. And I mean it's a lot of things like just a different culture in general.
Right.
But just like I didn't really think that my like the way I looked was beautiful
Mm.
in terms of the standards that were here.
Yeah.
Because even like with my body type, especially growing up as a teenager, like your body is very awkward, awkwardly shaped. so, so like, and it's not even like I just always looked at the mirror and I just didn't really like what I saw. Like
Hmm.
I thought it was good, but like I just never felt, oh, this is beautiful.
Like,
And then
order
social
that
media
girl, you
made
know?
it worse. Social media made it
Right.
worse. And one thing I've noticed that, like, since I have reduced my time on social media, is that I think I've started to really see myself. Like, I've started to see myself in different angles and started to appreciate that a little bit more. Because in social media, there's this body type that you see, at least on my own page. I don't know how everybody's page looks. There's this body type that I always see, and that warped my sense of like how I look in general. So like whenever I look at a picture of myself, like this looks ugly. But I've been looking at myself recently. I'm like, this is actually not like, why am I always like picking at myself every time I look at the mirror? So every time I look at the mirror, I try to look at myself for what it is and try to like look at myself from different angles and try to live with that uncomfortable feeling that, oh, this looks disgusting, and actually really look at myself and stare at it until I like accept it, if that makes sense. Like that's one thing that
Mm-hmm.
when I was telling you people like about like earlier, I was saying that the person I think in my head and the person that I actually am, part of it is my body. Like the body I think I have in my head is the body I see every time I scroll on social media,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
and that's not healthy at all.
Mm.
So it's a very interesting thing to live with.
Yeah. But thinking about like how you see yourself and like what we're saying, projecting that, how have you ever like experienced anxiety with posting and like
Oh, yeah.
that fear of, oh, what am I going to say when I post this? Especially like if you're posting something different from, I guess, what your norm would be. Um, how has that been for you?
It's been very off and on. Like, Simi knows, like, I don't want to use the word bipolar because I know that's like an actual, like, you know, thing, but like, I've been very off and on about like creating content, especially like recently, like partly because of the numbers and everything, but also partly because of like the anxiety that comes with like, um, what if like people don't like how I look, or people don't like how the picture is, or like I don't know how to explain it. I think, wait, let me think 1 second, and then okay. So I was telling, because I talk a lot to all my friends, but like I was telling one of my other friends like this thing of like how there's a certain type of person that people like to see on social media, and they come in different like fonts, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, I'm a dark skinned black girl who's also skinny-ish, you know, but there's a certain dark skinned black girl skinny that people like to see
Mm-hmm.
on social media, and I'm not necessarily in that like category that they really want to see. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I like to like explain the way I see myself as like, I feel like I'm a very like ordinary beauty. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't think there's anything that's like, oh my gosh, like wow, this girl is so beautiful. Like, which is not a bad thing. Like, it's fine. Like, there are so many people in the world who are like ordinary beauties, but that doesn't make them any less beautiful than somebody who you're like immediately see and you're like, oh my gosh, wow. And I feel like
Mm.
the kind of like audience that I want to pull is the audience that like looks for the ordinary beauty. Like,
Mm.
I'm not one of those people that's gonna wake up every morning and like lay their edges. Not because I don't like edges. One thing about me, like I love to experiment with like beauty, but thing is like I also really like the way that I am without everything. So
Mm.
like I was telling people like why I don't like do certain stuff is not because I don't like them. Like for example, like lash extensions and like acrylic nails. I love those things. Like, but the thing is that like I will get attached to those things. So that's why I don't do those things.
Mm.
So I like myself very like I wake up in the morning, that's how I am, and I know that like that's how I'm gonna be, like if everything was
Yeah.
stripped away from me. And so
Mm-hmm.
the kind of audience that I'm trying to pull is the audience that appreciates like the very raw, like the ordinary black girl, because I feel like the black girl that's pushed to the forefront of the media is either like some light skinned curly hair beauty or like
Yeah.
some
Mm.
South Sudan like skinny model, or like
Yeah.
maybe like they go to the extreme and they pick like a plus size lady who's like incredibly big. They always make sure that there's something about the black girl that is like incredibly well. And it's like,
Yeah.
why can't like
Mm.
black girls just be ordinary beauties and
Mm-hmm.
still
Mm.
stand out? You know what I mean? Because like you scroll through like TikTok and you have like the white girlies like in the messiest buns, like they're allowed to like just appear like that. Whereas like
Mm.
black girls always have to like stick your edges back, tie your hair back, make sure your braids are neat. If your braids after 2 weeks, go and get it redone. And it's just like that's just too
Yeah,
much.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we're
it's too much
human beings.
pressure.
Like it's so much. And I feel like with that comes like so much anxiety, especially when you're still trying to like show that like black girls are can be very versatile. Like yes, you can be like clean girl, you can be baddie, you can be this, but like you can also wake up the way that you are
Mm-hmm.
and just like
Mm-hmm.
be that way and still be beautiful and still like have an audience and still like I just feel like that being my main goal like just makes it a lot harder to like
Mm.
one either like make it as like a big time influencer or like big time content creator, and two to like post pictures because then sometimes I'm just like no, like everybody can see that like this is not perfect, but people are actually going on social media to like seek perfection from other people.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
like with that comes like a lot of anxiety for me. And then just also like the thing of like comparing like yourself to the people that you look up to. And I feel like every time I start to do that, I start to disconnect from like
Mm.
social media. I start to like forget the why. Why did I start? It wasn't because I wanted to look like this person or that person, because
Right.
I feel like there's a thin line between, oh my gosh, I love like this babe and her post, and like I look up to her and I want to like
Mm-hmm.
have 10K followers like her in the future, versus like, oh, why don't I look like her? But like, why
Mm.
don't my
Mm-hmm.
clothes sit on my body like her clothes sit on her body? Like, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So there's also that, and then there's the anxiety of like engagement and numbers. And I was actually talking to Simi
Mm.
about this the other day as well. It's like you put so much effort into creating content, and you're like, oh, please let people like it, please let people like it.
Mm.
And one thing you need to, bro, if you're starting as a content creator, one thing you need to know is that you will be God's strongest soldier. It will humble you. No, literally, because the thing is like if you chase the numbers, like it will end in tears. Like, but
Literally.
like if you just keep posting to like please yourself or like to please that
Mm-hmm.
super tiny audience that you already have, then like you're
Mm-hmm.
probably in a safer bubble. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's pretty much it. Like anxiety from engagement, anxiety from beauty standards, anxiety from social media being social media, all of that.
Literally.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. The numbers one. Bro, every listener on this podcast, I pray for you guys that you guys will never feel the way Forrest and I feel sometimes. That
Hmm.
shit is crazy. And like sometimes it's just, at least for me, it's just like I've been asking God, like, if this is not what I'm supposed to do, just tell me now because
Yeah,
the
No,
numbers are
please,
not
no,
literally,
encouraging. Like,
like the
just
literally,
numbers
like
are not
they are
like,
not encouraging.
bro.
And you put in all the like for you, what for you say, you put in all this effort, you put in all this content, you create the content, you then post it,
Mama,
And it's
silence.
the same two people saying, yeah, you
Bro.
go, girl. And
bro.
it's like, I love those two people. When I finally make it out of the hood, like, those two people are my priority list.
Like,
But
Oh
mind
my
you, it's
god.
just like, I feel like now I'm being a burden on those two people who are
exactly.
always, I mean, they're more than two people,
Yeah.
definitely. Maybe they're just like, they're a lot more than two people, but it just
Yeah.
Yeah.
still feels like this same, like, people, like the same 20 people, I'm recycling them. Today,
Yeah.
five
Mm-hmm.
people will comment. Tomorrow, people, they will, what's called the next group of five people will now say, okay, you guys take a break. I will comment this week. It just feels
Mm-hmm.
like that in my head. So I just feel
Right.
very
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know. Sometimes it just feels like maybe I'm forcing people. So that's why I'll just like not even post because I'm just like, okay, I feel like I'm forcing you to like my content. And I just never want you to
Right.
feel that way. So
No,
I
that
mean,
makes
I'm definitely
sense.
one of those people, and I want to say it's not like that. Like, I actually like what you put out. So I
Yeah.
mean, like
thank
it looks clean.
you.
Like you have like a
Literally.
certain aesthetic that
Mm-hmm.
like it looks clean. So
Just say you're
when I
toasting me.
repost
Like,
it, it's not like
just say you want to marry me
I'm not
now.
posting because it's like
It's not just because you're Feyi. That's one thing I do want to
yeah,
say. Like, I'm not reposting your content just because, oh, I know you, let me just support you. It's
yeah.
not that
I'm
genuinely.
actually there.
Because, like, I sometimes I feel like that, like, majority of the time when people I know repost my content, I'm like, they're not, like, me and friends talk about it all the time. We're like, these people are not listening. Maybe they're just reposting to help us, or like
Yeah.
they feel sorry for their pitying
Yeah.
us. But But Jenny, like whenever I repost, like some of my friends have even told me that they only see me post on Instagram when I'm reposting Feyi, and I'm like, because you people need to see, this is greatness. Like you guys have to see that. So like it's definitely not like that. At least from my perspective, like what friend said as well.
Yeah, like it actually it's really good. So it's not like
Thank
yeah,
you.
it really
Thank
is.
you. People should just propose now because all this are saying it's giving you're in love with me. So like
Yeah. Oh god, posting on social media is so scary. Like even because for this podcast, like sometimes I'm like, let me go on a story. Like yesterday, first posted on a story, and sometimes when I release an episode, I'll not go and post. I'll say, like, oh, you guys release episode. But I think my main struggle with posting like my face, like I don't think I've even posted. Like on this podcast, I can even post on our page on my own, like similarly Instagram. I can't remember time I've gone there and went to post like me talking live. It's either a picture or a dump, or maybe like a small short video.
Yeah.
But never me speaking live. And I think for that, I'm always worried like, what are people going to say? Or nobody really gives a fuck what I have to say. Even with this podcast, like when I want to post on the story, and there's so many things we want to do with the story or like with our feed, and we're just like, nobody gives a shit, bro. Like we're going to post all of this. Or like I remember from New York, like I have so much content from New York. I haven't posted it yet because I'm just like, I'll go and post it now. I'll go and see.
But you know what? I think you should still post it. Like I would like it. So I mean, I like what you guys have to say. No, the thing is, I'm gonna be honest. Like the thing is, like you will have your people, even if they're a small group of people, you'll still have your people. Like
right.
One thing is like you still have to post regardless. Yeah, you'll be anxious. Like like you think nobody's engaged, but like I want just post so that when the opportunity comes and like one big brand is like, oh, like, where's your your portfolio? You have like stuff in your archive.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah, I feel so awkward posting, just putting myself out there, and like just in general, even without like this podcast, when it comes to posting on social media, I'll post in my heart rate to just go up, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, nobody's even paying me for this. Why am I feeling all this anxiety? And then like, there was a time, not so much now, but like especially in high school and stuff, like I always compare my likes, and I'm like,
oh my gosh,
no, do you know at this point now I just hide my likes. So I don't want to see. I don't want to know how many.
Exactly. Even now, I have to turn it off.
I don't post as much now. That's why it's not affecting me. I don't post as much in my personal page as much. But it's just like when I see the likes other people are getting, I see my likes, I was like, I know this picture is fine. I know this picture is fine.
You know you say I'm beautiful, like
right.
Yeah, especially when like you're following the same like people, like 10 people are following both of you.
And I'm like, you people saw that I posted, and okay, let's say like 2 people posted, and we are all following each other, and then I posted at that same time. I'm like, for sure, my post came out. I don't
it came out.
For sure, you just saw it.
Like it.
You didn't like it.
I hate it so much, and that's why I don't post as much in general, like. Because like I can like a picture so much, and then I drop it on social media, and the reaction I'll just be like, this picture is shit.
Ed.
You know what? The solution to that, like that, moving into 2024, like my biggest solution to that is either posting like on my main, like it's my Finsta, or posting like it's my Pinterest, because those are the only 2 things that like make me post freely. Like whenever I'm posting on Pinterest, I'm not thinking, oh, somebody's gonna judge me, they will not like the shape of my eye or my head. Like I'm just posting like, oh, like that's a nice picture, I like it, so I'm gonna post it, you know. But when it comes to like Instagram, for some reason there's a spirit of Instagram. I don't know how to explain. There's something supernatural.
It's
be
real.
Like discouraging you, telling you that the picture that you looked at, that you picked, that you like, is the ugliest picture to ever exist. And I just don't even know.
But do you know the crazy thing? And because now that's why I started posting dumps instead of pictures, because I feel like there's less pressure on dumps and people give less of a shit. When you put dump, they know. They're like, oh, so these are just like,
these are just these less,
it's just vibes. Like that's why now I don't the only pictures I've posted, I posted with my grad pictures. Every other thing I've posted so far, dump. New York memories. Emma Kwame, please. I'm just a girl.
Recently in my life.
Literally.
I'm actually just a girl. Like, what
it's giving dump. But do you guys think, because like when I see white people post, It's exactly like that. They just post it freely.
Yeah.
They don't give a damn. Whether like, and I'm wondering why.
You say
I
white
mean,
people?
yeah, like every time I see white people post,
Oh, they just post though. Hey,
they don't,
they just
bro.
Even
aesthetics.
the
What's
aesthetic
aesthetics?
white girlies, like they just
They
post
literally
and
just post.
post.
I feel like once again it comes to the whole thing of like the standards for like white people are always different from the standards of like black content creators. Like white content creators are allowed to post the most like random things and people will be like, oh my gosh, like that is so cute. Like I just love that. And then
So
when like
relatable.
specifically like black women who create content like push out like just the regular ordinary mundane content. People are just like, oh, like it's not giving high luxury
luxury black girl.
Oh my
luxury
god,
black
that
girl.
luxury black
Welcome
girl
to luxury black girl TikTok. I said, take me out, please.
Oh, hyper
not
feminine black
everybody
girl.
has to be
Oh
like
my
this.
gosh.
Not everybody has to be like this. Like, and
It sucks.
it's also something that I feel with this podcast. Like every time we put, like me and Sue, we look out, like we're not dressed up, we're not anything,
Legit.
and like we edit this content and put on social media, and I'm like, sometimes I'm like, should I have at least, maybe do my eyelashes like this small?
Literally.
And it's just a lot of pressure with like, I feel like we're looking a certain way because a lot of the black people that come up for me, they have like something put together at least. But I feel like now maybe like the way I'm curating the people I follow, I feel like I'm now
just
following people that feel
people.
natural, like feel like relatable in a way.
Yeah,
I think so. But
I'm also gonna say that like I like the brand of the podcast because it feels very much like two things. Like either like I'm just like chilling in my friend's like room and like we're just chatting, slash like I'm just on a FaceTime call with you guys. And not many podcasts actually have that like feel. Like many podcasts is basically it just feels like the radio. Like you're listening to people get interviewed on the radio. But this has more of like a personal like feel like do you ever listen to like a podcast where like people are talking and you feel like you can interject into the conversation randomly and like people would, that's just very much how it feels like when I'm listening to like Do You Get to It, it is a very different vibe from like the regular like, oh, I'm sitting here, we have a mic, I'm going to interview you, ask you questions about your life, and that's it. It just feels like a conversation like amongst friends, and I really like that. You don't see that like in the black space or like in the African or Nigerian space. So we need more of that. So people should take notes.
yeah.
Thank you. Oh my gosh,
That's
this reminded me of you guys. There's this podcast in Nigeria, Bad and Bougie, whatever. That's not really the important part. There's this girl that went on that podcast. She's an influencer. They're all influencers on the podcast. She said to come about natural hair.
Natural hair. Don't come to my event.
She said, "Don't come to my event with my natural hair." I said, "Oh."
With her
Wait, she said that don't come.
Yeah, she said that. Why would your natural? She said your natural hair is good for church. Your natural hair is good for grocery shopping. Your natural hair. She was listing where your natural hair is good for, but your natural hair is not good for our events.
She was like, oh, that she has natural hair too, and that she doesn't like leave her house like with her natural hair.
So which hair now?
So it all goes back, bro.
That she was not wearing. Like in my head, I'm just like, if you're gonna bash people with natural hair, at least have like a badass wig. Like let your ends be down. Like let's see the wig. Like let it be a bust down 30-inch. Like let's see, Hey, see the wig. It was giving super story. Okay. But you know what? Like it's fine.
Oh my god.
So I think all of this goes back to what Feyi is saying about us seeing as like how we are regulating ourselves. So I think all of us as a black community, we can never do it, but I think they should actually less pressure needs to be there because my natural hair is what God gave me. Like why can't I bring it to your event? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Like the hair that goes up my head.
Exactly.
Really insane.
And that is like that kind of thing. That's what like young people are following you, and that's what they're hearing, and they're internalizing that kind of rubbish. Because I didn't even realize how like Nigeria, where we wear wig a lot. I didn't even know how until when we were watching that video with Mayo, that one about pop the balloon.
Yeah, and a lot of girlies were wearing wigs.
And Mayo is one of our friends. She's from Haiti, and she was talking about like in Haiti, wigs are not a big thing there. Like they do more of braids and their hair compared to Niger, where like wig is like currency. If a wig vendor will come on Instagram, they'll be shaking.
Literally,
They'll
like
be
the
shaking.
hair is
They'll be like,
everything. You see that one that cost 30 million naira that has been
mm-hmm.
trending. It's so long. I
Wig.
mean that hair
I'm
that hair
telling
is
you, no,
fine,
that
but I'm
hair
not spending 30
is
million naira on that
delicious.
wig. I'm sorry.
But wig is
It's just
such a
insane.
big deal in Nigeria, and
Yeah,
I'm just like,
like
how did we get that culture?
even hair in general, like black hair is always like it's either oh keep your natural hair or oh relax your hair or oh like there's always something about like you have to have this certain type of hair. You have to have this
Mm-hmm.
certain like can't we just all be if you want to relax your hair, relax your hair. If you want to carry
Bro.
natural hair, carry natural hair. If you
There
Because
was
if you
this
carry a
one
natural
everything
at the
hair, they'll say,
beginning of
"Oh, you have to wash your hair every this week. So you have to do all this. You have to
literally
do." I'm like, eh,
there's so much policing about around like black hair, especially
exactly.
when it comes to black women. Like I remember like at the beginning of the year, like there was another one about this babe saying that like you shouldn't wear braids for your wedding or your graduation or
what?
birthday. There are
Yes.
braids that is not for special events that what's it called?
Mm-hmm.
Go get a wig. And I was just like, this same braid, like the way that braids are so versatile, you cannot tell me that like I cannot wear
Bro.
my braids for an event. In fact,
A wedding,
why
like
must you tell me the hair that is best for an event? After how many years of slavery, you still want to
Oh,
enslave us to this day?
exactly.
Are you not
like
ashamed? Like, nah, it's too much.
yeah,
No,
it's too
bro.
much policing around hair, around even our bodies, even everything. There's just too much out there. Um,
Really.
but back to your content though, like have you seen like any difference between how your content was when it first started versus what it is now? Because I mean like one thing, for instance, we're starting this podcast, it's such a we see and I have like this bigger dream than what our podcast is right now. And it can get discouraging, right? When you want to start something, when you're like looking at the end goal of that thing that you want to start.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so for instance, like with podcasting, like you're thinking about equipment, you're thinking about oh which guests to bring and all that
Mm.
stuff. But like there's a beauty in just starting something and seeing how it grows and learning from it. And that's something that, you know, I kind of struggled with or still struggle with the pod. So for you, have you seen any difference? Like kind of let us know so that other people can see that they can start something without it being like perfect.
So there's a lot. So when I first started, I didn't have an iPhone. I
Mm.
don't remember what phone I was using, but it wasn't giving. But I still started anyways because like I didn't have any
Feyi.
other phone. Like that was the only phone I had. So I was like, okay, like and like things like they sent me. I think at that point, I think I used my brother's phone to take the pictures that I posted and I tagged them in.
Mm.
And
Mm,
then they asked for like a video, and then I had to use my phone, and I was like, damn, like and my brother he had encouraged me like that, like don't worry, just like still post it. I still posted and like they were like they loved the video. And then
mm,
like, then later when I finally got like an iPhone, so upgrading small
Yeah.
small.
mm-hmm.
Then in terms of like skill, like when I first started, like I was not laying any wig, I was just putting the wig on my head. I don't even know. Like when I tell you that, like I was not like there was no glue involved in like I would just cut the lace and probably put like my foundation and like wait, and that was it. Like I was good to go. But
Mm,
now like I feel like I've like learned so much like in terms of like laying my wigs and like you know doing the lace, plucking the lace, all of that. Like I just feel like I'm so much better at that. Like there's obviously still room for improvement, and
mm-hmm.
as individuals we're always growing, but there's that like and then I also feel like in terms of being like comfortable in front of the camera and just like being myself because I feel like there's this thing with social media where like you kind of feel like you have to be like somebody else or you have to be a certain way to be accepted. And I feel like
Mm.
at first I was like I wouldn't even talk in like most of my videos because like I was just like people don't like to hear my voice. And then like
Mm,
one day I like there were like two videos I did that like had like really no two or four I don't know, but like there've been like four videos that I've done that I remember like having like massive growth when I posted them. There was one the first time I posted like a video where I laid my hair and I spoke pigeon. People were like, "Oh my God, like
That video was
we
really
love your
good.
voice." Like I was like, so I should be talking more. Like then the next one, the next one I posted in Yoruba. They were like, do more, that kind of stuff. And then there was another one I did. It was me doing my own like hair because I have texturized hair, and it was me doing this hairstyle that I was seeing on Only White Women. It was the one with the swirly swoop thingy. And most times when I post something on like Instagram and TikTok, like if it blows up, it will blow up on one app. It won't blow up on the other app. This
Mm.
one blew up on both apps, and I was like, that's absolutely insane. Like the babiest of babes were in the comments on TikTok, like being like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go try this out." Me in my house, I was fangirling, even though they were not paying me $1. I was just fangirling. I was like, "Oh my gosh," and it just made me realize that like every time my mind tells me to like do something that like is authentically me, I should not be
Mm-hmm.
afraid to like do it. Because I feel
Mm.
like there are many times that like let's say I have an idea, then I don't want to do the idea because I'm like nobody else is doing it, so like I'm not gonna do it. And
Mm.
if you think about it, that in itself is influencing. Like when you influence
Mm.
somebody, you're doing something because you like it, not because everyone else is doing it. Like
Mm-hmm.
because those other people who are doing it are just the influenced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, how are you gonna be an influencer if you can't even like put out your original thoughts? Like if you like, if you can't express yourself. And this is something that like my brother, he always rings this into my head. I feel like that's like my number one like chairperson, like my number one like supporter. He's always like telling me like, if you have an idea, the idea is fire. Like don't think twice. Like just do it. Like
Yeah.
your brain put it together. Just go ahead and put it out there. So I feel like in terms of growth, like I'm still very much growing into myself and growing into learning that like I can just do stuff because I want to, or because my mind thinks like it's gonna look good. Even if it's me like wearing socks and sandals, even though it's raz, like what if like my mind just thinks it's cool? Like I'm gonna find my people who also
Sandals.
think it's cool, Like that's the whole
Yeah.
point of like
Yeah.
wanting to be a content creator, wanting to be an influencer. You're supposed to actually like be yourself, and then people will be like, oh, because she's herself, I'm comfortable enough being myself.
Right.
So that's
Mm-hmm.
another area that like I have grown a lot. And I think also in terms of engagement on certain platforms, of course, it like goes up and down and up and down. But like
Yeah.
one I'm really, really proud of is Pinterest. Like I always wanted to be a Pinterest girly. Like,
Mm-hmm.
those girls that go on Pinterest and like you see all these black girls and they're just like I don't know how to explain Pinterest. Pinterest is a different vibe because there's no talking. It's
Yeah.
like social media but without like the social, just the media. It's giving
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
peace. It's giving peace of mind. So like when I started to post there, like I would get like, one or two likes from like random people you don't know, like, because Pinterest, you don't really have to know people like that. They
Yeah.
just like your picture because, well, they like the vibes. And then like I started to post more because it was feeling like a film star. I was like, oh, I like this picture. I'm gonna post. I'm gonna post. I'm gonna post. And then all of a sudden, like the numbers kept going up. Like, and then when I knew that the numbers started going up was when my friends will be on TikTok, like scrolling through, and they'll see like, all these like slides on TikTok where they'll be like, what's it called, black girl, something, 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 something,
Mm-hmm.
and they
Mm.
will like see my picture and they will send it to me, and I'm like, wait, I only posted that on Pinterest.
Oh.
Wow.
I'm like, it's giving like I made it, like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that was how I knew that okay, the Pinterest is really, really giving. So I think that's one platform going into 2024. I'm gonna be more like, intentional, but not like overdoing it, just like still be myself, like not like
Mm.
hyper like what's it called? Like hyper analyzing anything, just like posting pictures because I like it because honestly it's working. So I might as well. You see that
Mm.
Instagram? That one is the
Oh
hands of the
god.
Lord because I
Instagram
don't know. I
Instagram
don't know.
trauma
Instagram's a
is
different ball game,
Instagram
right?
trauma is real.
Yeah,
It
so
is.
like that one, only God can do it. But I haven't like ruled it out completely. I guess I'm just like very much like when I feel like posting, I will post, and if I don't, like I
Mm-hmm.
just will leave it. But you know me, I'll still post my TikTok Tuesdays. So
Another thing that ruined Instagram, I think, or made it more stressful is the algorithm thing. I think that's
Mm.
I just because it was fine when we were seeing the posts as it was being posted, the
mhm.
time stamp by time. Now
It's
it's
just
just like
vibes.
if people don't interact with your stuff, they don't see it. But like
Yeah,
I think before people had to see it, which I
yeah,
mean is a double whammy. Like if people are not liking your stuff, then you feel bad because like you know that they're actually seeing it and they're ignoring it. But
No, but that's fine because then I know that like they actually don't like the content. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Versus like them just not seeing it because I'm not a popular girl. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? That's a bit more
true.
They will not be
discouraging because now I'm
suggesting
gonna
rubbish.
exactly
Rubbish.
now I'm gonna be gaslighting myself thinking the content is not actually good, whereas people are just not seeing it.
Seeing
So
it.
Exactly.
Oh God. It's
It's
tough. It's tough.
really it's tough.
It's really tough.
yeah. But you've mentioned like you've it sounds like you have a very good support system. You mentioned your brother, you mentioned your parents, you mentioned your friends. So I guess have you always felt supported along your journey, or has there ever been times where you feel, oh, I need a bit more support from my friends or my family?
Yeah, I mean, like my family, like they're this. I'm not going to say that. Like when it comes to like most of my pictures, like stuff like that, is my brother, my dad that helps me, and then my mom will always like tag along because she also likes taking her cute little pictures, you know.
Mm,
So like it's always just very encouraging to see that like they're always willing to like be there for me and that kind of
yeah.
stuff. And I can always ask them like, hey, should I post this picture? Like, you know, that kind of stuff. And but I think with my friends, it's half and half because I feel like with my friends, like yes, they do support me, like they will repost or like they will comment and everything. But like sometimes it just feels like not everybody's on the same page. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like you knew before we got into this friendship that like I like taking pictures. So now that I want to take pictures, why are you complaining? Like, you know,
Mm,
it's just things like that. Like it's things that like you like honestly speaking, at this point, I'm this close to removing friends because I'm just like, you knew me before you decided, oh, you're gonna become friends with me,
right.
and now it seems like I'm a burden to you because you know
Mm,
I'm asking for certain things, and it never really has anything to do with like you like reposting my pictures or like you commenting on my pictures. It always has more to do with like um how you feel about me getting the content in the moment. And it's always
mm,
funny because it's always these same people who like what's it called, who are not really like encouraging when it comes to like you getting the pictures, that always want you to airdrop them,
mm.
or you know they'll be like, oh, send me the pics after this, and it's like, but wasn't that you complaining, like, you
Yeah.
know? So
Mhm.
like I think it's half and half. Like I do have friends who are like very much like they will support me through the whole process, like you know, that kind of thing. But I do understand that you have friends for different reasons, and you know,
Right.
and then obviously I have those friends who always send me like inspiration. They'll be like, "Oh, I think you should do this. This will be really, really cool," and that kind of stuff. And you know, you have like friends who will say your name in spaces that like you are not even in, and like those are also
Mm,
really, really like important friends. And then you know you have the group of friends who actually like help you pick the pictures. They'll be like, okay, this one is fine, or but this one is the one, you know, that kind of stuff.
yeah.
So I think when it comes to community, like I do have like half and half, like, you know, and I'm thankful for like everybody who's like on this journey with me. But like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I still feel like I still need like a bit more encouragement when it comes to like getting the content or like, you know, I don't know. And if anybody's out there wants a content creator buddy, like I'm here. Yeah, so like I think that's another thing that like I genuinely really, really wanted, but like I never really got just because of like,
Mm,
you know, everybody's like likes are very, very different. So like I never really got that. And then also there's the people who just find you online and like they will support you more than people you've actually met, which is
mm,
absolutely insane. Like I have this one babe. I'm not gonna mention her name because I don't want to mention anybody's name in this podcast, but I've never met the babe in my entire life. We have like five mutual friends, and like
okay.
even the mutual friends, like I'm not even close with them like that, like that. Like I'm just like I just know them, you know. You know when you
Mhm.
know somebody. And this babe has literally been supporting me since since probably like as soon as I started in freshman year, like no, not in freshman, like
Mm,
sophomore year, like that beginning of sophomore year, like she's and I'm just like, you don't even know me, like I don't even know you, but every time she posts now, me too, I'm like, even if she's not a content creator, me too, I'm in her comments, I'm like, yes, like that's you
Mhm.
know, like there's just people, even like Florence, I didn't meet Florence proper until today. Like there'll just be like people that like they'll just like genuinely and it's always like you always know when it's genuine. Like they'll
mm,
just see you and like they like you and they just like your face, they like your I don't know, and they just want to like elevate you and put your name in spaces that like you never thought like you'd be in, and I really appreciate that too. And and then obviously like the ones that like also like randomly find you, and like even though they don't stick with you like to the very end, they still somewhat like, I don't know how to explain it. So for example, that's very common on TikTok. Like when you post like a video on TikTok, and there will
Right.
be girlies in the comments that you don't know, and they probably will never see like the next post that you post, but they
Right.
will make sure to cheer you on that one post that they felt was like such a banger post. And I think I also appreciate those group of people as well. Yeah.
With the thing with getting like friends that like have issues with like you getting content, what if it's just because like they don't get? Do you get? Because me too, I'm not even going to lie. Sometimes, see, we wanted to do TikTok. I'm like, why are we still doing this TikTok? We've been doing this thing for 1 hour, and it's like
I'm
they
so
don't
dead.
get it. And I don't know, like maybe sometimes it's not necessarily like maybe like they're not spotting what you're doing. Maybe they're just like not. They don't get. Do you get?
No, but there are people that you will know. Like I feel like you will especially after you've been friends with um somebody for like a while, you will know when somebody knows like why like you're doing certain thing, and they just like they're still just not like interested in furthering that for you, or like encouraging you, or like being there. I don't know.
Mm,
I think you will know, and I think it also really helps, because the thing is like the way I describe content creation, like it's a hobby. So for example, if my friend likes to read, I'm gonna like either like buy them books, or like if I don't even have money for that, I'm gonna recommend books for them, or like I will let them like rant to me about the books that they've read, even if I don't really care about. Do you
mm,
get what I'm saying? So I think when you know that you have like friends who like something, what's so like bad about like being there for them in any way possible that you can? It might not be like you personally like being in that video. It might just be you like, what's it called? I don't know, reposting the video, or you liking the video, or you being the one to like record the video for that person. Like it's just, or just you like giving them the space to do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they're just like people that you don't really get that vibe from, that like they appreciate your hobby like you do with their. Because I always, the way I see content creation as a hobby, and I'm just like, if I'm gonna encourage you in what you like, then why can you not encourage me in what I like? So yeah.
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. I've always struggled with friend support because I think for me, the bad thing I do is I just don't talk about the fact that I have this podcast, which is bad. So
And
how
that's
are
very
they?
bad. Please
How
change.
are how are you going to get support if you're not talking about it? But my worry is, and the reason why I don't bring it to my friends, which is why like I'm just like I just feel like they don't. I don't say they don't care, but I don't want to feel like I'm pressuring somebody to support me, which is why
Mm,
I never bring it up. It's like I'm like, okay, if you like podcasts and you want to listen to my podcast, that's good. If you don't like podcasts, I don't give a shit about my podcast, that's good too. If you don't like podcasts and you want to try my podcast, that's excellent. Like I think for me, which is not good, like I cannot say, oh, nobody supports me. I've never, not that I'm saying nobody supports me, but like I can't, which is why I haven't really allowed myself to feel like, oh, I don't have support, because I haven't really given people the opportunity to support me necessarily, because I just
Mm-hmm.
don't talk about it in my podcast. Period. Like it's not. I don't know why I do that, because it's not like I'm ashamed of this podcast. I actually really like this podcast. I think I just struggle with asking for help, because I also feel like because the podcast is so new and hasn't really
mm.
grown much yet, I feel like if I'm like, oh, I don't even know how to have that conversation. Like,
I just
oh, I
like
need support, because it's either I expect it. I don't have expectations of people at all, because I don't like disappointments.
mm,
So that's the struggle I have, and I'm like, how have you been able to? I don't know. I don't know if my question makes sense, but just to talk about it with your friends and just feel that support. Because I feel like if not for Florence, this podcast have ended. I kid you not. I kid you not. Because what I do, so it feels like at least this is one person I can always rely on, because this is our podcast. But outside of her, I don't really.
yeah.
talk about the podcast to
There's
anyone
just
like that,
like
except somebody asks me like, "Oh, how's the podcast?" or like, "Oh, you have not even said anything." Then I'll bring it up. But I don't really initiate that conversation. Yeah.
yeah, and I just feel just awkward promoting myself. Period. Like
Yeah.
Yes, which
I
is not
feel
good.
Please,
so awkward promoting. I'm like, oh, I have this,
like
but
Exactly.
in
like
a
it's
stand-up,
so
please promote
awkward.
yourself.
Like it's
Literally.
just so awkward. Like even when I repost it on my stories, how these people think that hey, every day is this because also I don't have I also don't come on my story to post anything else because I don't really post. Like I'm not really like in terms of social media presence, personal on my personal page, it doesn't exist. Like I don't like to like so every time I come and there's nothing much that goes on in my life that I'm okay, let me just be posting on my story every time so that like people will, like maybe feel some sort of like connection to me. So that when I post about my podcast it's not so awkward. So because if you notice me when I come I repost my brother and then post Feyi, then repost somebody else, repost my podcast,
She has gone.
disappear.
Literally.
Like,
I'm
and I
actually
always feel
dead.
so awkward doing that. As I feel like I'm just like I'm like, oh god, this people will start unfollowing me. I'm like, okay, maybe unfollow me so that like I'll stop feeling this pressure that I'm feeling
No,
every
literally, like
single time.
that's the best thing. Like whenever you feel like somebody's gonna unfollow you because you posted, it's actually better if you unfollow me now because this is who I am. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
genuinely like I understand the whole thing of like Simi was talking about what's it called? About having somebody, and I feel like that's one thing that I would really, really, really have loved to have. Like having somebody who just like keep me accountable or like who's in this with me. Like, it's like when you're in school and like you're like taking a class that like you absolutely don't like and you
Mm.
want like an accountability body so that
Yeah.
you know that like you're not alone in the struggle.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that like with certain hobbies. Like I genuinely wish like I had like a Florence like you know that would just like motivate me to not quit because like right now I'm actually on the verge of like quitting because I'm tired, bro. But yeah, it would definitely make things easier if like I did have somebody, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are
Hmm.
you experiencing burnout with the whole thing? And how are you dealing with it? Or have you experienced it and like brought yourself back up? Like how are you dealing with burnout in general with
So I
content?
experienced burnout like in I think it was August, like when I just started working, and then like I was also like posting like very like often, and like I was burnt out because not because I wasn't enjoying creating content, but because it was feeling more like a job that I wasn't getting paid for. Because I would wake
Mm.
up and I would be like, I'm putting so much work into this, and I'm not getting any like increase in engagement. I'm not getting paid for this. Like, it just feels like, why am I even doing this in the first place? And I feel like one of the things that like always like rings in my mind is like this thing of like what people gonna say, like this girl has been doing this since and she still has not blown. Like it's just like things like that. And
Oh
it's just
my
that
god,
that really,
Yeah.
really
yes.
got to me. And I just
Yeah.
like didn't post for like a whole month. I was just like, I'm
Mm.
so like done with this. And like even now that like even like when I got back, like I was just like I was so out of it. I was just like, I don't even know like why I'm back. Am I back because
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not used to like being off of Instagram, or like am I back because like I'm ready, like I'm no longer burnt out, that kind of stuff. So like
Mm-hmm.
right now
Mm.
I'm also in that phase of where like I'm just having like for the first time in a long time I don't have anything in my draft. I don't have any content I'm creating this weekend. This I literally am on break till like the beginning of like next year, and I don't have any plans to create content. Like if content creation enters 2024 with me, it enters. If it doesn't enter, I don't know what to tell you. But I'm very much at like the what's it called? The give up like phase. And I feel like not many people like say that. Everyone's always like because people tell me this there's this one girl on TikTok, people keep sending her to me. She's very much like she wanted to be an influencer and she was like, come with me on this journey and like she made it to 100,000 like followers and everything. And I'm like, that's great for her. But like I don't think that can energize me. Like I'm like
Mm.
we don't have the same journey, and it makes it worse that Babes literally just started when she just started, which is like this year, and I have been in the struggle for like longer than a year, and I still feel like I haven't gotten my flowers, and I just feel like I don't even want to like be in the space anymore. It's a very
Mm.
like confusing phase that I'm in, but like I'm just like taking my time. Like if I don't do it for a while and I feel like I'm happier without it, then I'll actually let go of it. But if I don't do it for a while and I feel like, oh, I miss doing that, then I'll come back to it. But yeah, this is apart from Pinterest, because that's my girl. Like
Hmm.
yeah, but yeah, TikTok, even TikTok, I think I posted like once since like July, and yeah.
How can your friends support you? I'm speaking as your friend, and just like for other people that are going through this, and how can your friends support you at this stage? Because you said you're on giving up stage. So how can we help you
I'm
here?
actually dead. I don't know if there's anything that anybody can particularly do. I think there's some battles that like one has to fight by themselves.
Mm.
Like you can only do so much. Like I said, like I have like really good friends. Like yes, there are some that like are like great, but I really, really can't see that like my friends are like a great support system. But I just don't think there's anything that like anybody can do right now to be like, oh, I believe in you, you can do it, let's get this bread. Like, and that's nobody's fault. Like that's perfectly okay. Like it's fine. Like there are just some things that you just need to like go through by yourself. And like
Mm.
if you come out with the same like mind of like I still want to do it, then like life actually moves on. Like realizing that there's life outside of social media is actually insane. Like
Yep.
when
Oh
you
my
realize that
god.
like people actually live lives and they're not like
Yes.
24/7 like
And they're
online.
not
Like
There's some people
posting.
that don't even have
Oh
this
my
bro,
social media.
god.
they don't have like,
Yes.
and they're okay. Like the only thing that they have is text message and email, and they are good. Like
Oh my
that's
god,
their own social
yes.
media, you know?
Legit.
Like
because because I remember like in high school, like even like sometimes in college, like I will have certain experiences, and if they were not Instagrammable, I don't rate it. I don't like. I have
Mm.
certain experience. And I'm like, oh, I want to do this, or like I travel, and then like if the thing that we are doing, I can't really post it. I'm like, like maybe it's Raz. Like I'll start like that would taint the whole experience for me. And I think now, like this year, when I took a step back from social media and just like I've been doing things and I just have no need to post them, and like I've enjoyed those things so much because I'm not thinking in my head, oh, let me record this video and post because let everybody
mhm,
see that I was in this place. And yeah, like yeah, there's life outside of social media. That's
literally. And like I feel like that's where like the very nasty sour energy comes from, when you feel like you have to video so that you can post and so that people can see a
Yep.
certain thing. It's just like if the whole concept was just like, oh, like I want to do this and I want to post it, perfect.
Yeah.
But when we are so like forced to think I want to do this in a certain way so that it looks good and so I can post it so that I can pepper that person, or so that like
Yeah.
people will be hailing me, it just takes the
mm,
whole
Mm-hmm.
fun out of
yeah,
everything. Both like the in the moment like fun and like
yeah,
the online posting fun. It
Mm-hmm.
messes everything up, and I feel like that's the energy that like Instagram particularly
Yep.
like
yeah.
gives. Is very much like if you're not
Legit.
preparing anybody, or if you're not like looking like super glamorous, you're automatically going to feel like I'm not doing what everybody wants to see, or like I'm not doing something
Yeah.
great, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah, it just changed. Like, I just remember like some travel experiences that I had that like it didn't look like something like I didn't, like I was just like, okay, this is Raz. Like, I see other people do this. Why can't it look like this? Why can't be?
Mm.
And I wish that like I just sat in the moment and just enjoyed myself, because now even at work and I just see like we do like really fun things. Nobody's bringing out their phone. Oh, let me record for Instagram. Like people are just recording for memories.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so pure. Like it's so
Literally.
pure.
Literally, like when we start
It's
bringing
so
back like the
pure.
the photo albums and stuff like that, like you realize like pictures are so much more
Yes.
than the likes. Like and like going back again, that's why I like Pinterest. There's no wahala on that place. It's
Mm-hmm.
just post your picture and be happy with it. Like whether you're aroused, you're cool, you're somewhere in between. Like it gives like very much like photo album vibes, and like that will always be
Mm.
peaceful.
Mm.
Do
Yeah.
you guys think we're going to have photo albums to show our children by? Because if you think
Ah,
about it, our parents had for us and of themselves.
I want to start doing scrap, but like once I'm done with this exam, I'm going to get my life
Oh,
together. I
that's so
need to.
cute.
I bought my scrapbook items, but I just never like printed the pictures and other things. Like I really need to start doing scrapbooking because I did one in high school, and I was looking back at it because there are notes that I wrote in it, and I just started
Oh.
crying because it was just
It's
so
so
cute. And I was
cute.
just like, oh my God, I'm looking back from where I was to then. I was like, this
Mm-hmm.
is so pure. And I know that is when I wrote like, oh, wanting to be like my mom, and like maybe
Yeah.
talking about like graduating and like what school I was. It was just so pure, like reading back at that thing and the notes that I have for myself. So I really want to do that so that like my kids can get that, even if they have a lot of content. Because right now I have 9,000 something pictures on my iPhone,
Hey.
and I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
then.
I'm like,
Hey.
wait, what is all these pictures? I don't even do much to have that
No,
many
I'm worse than
pictures. I
you.
need to
Don't worry,
start
you're fine.
deleting.
Literally, I need to clean up. I have too
Yeah,
many
it's
screenshots. I just be
Hmm.
screenshotting the most random thing. I'm like, why is this here?
When I tell you that I'm paying for both Apple and Google Photos like storage, and
Ah.
it's still telling me your storage is low. No, like it's actually at this point I'm so sick of it. I also
Oh
have
my
like this
gosh.
Polaroid album. So like I'm gonna put my Polaroid pictures in there, and then I
Mm.
started printing my disposable um pictures from my disposable camera.
Oh.
Yeah,
yeah.
so
I need to
that's
Yeah.
figure
it.
out how to clean my phone, I beg, because that's a lot.
Literally, I
Lot.
found a digital
And it
camera
will
on
keep
Amazon.
growing.
Oh, for
What?
sure.
It will
It will
continue growing.
definitely keep growing
Oh
because
yeah,
you're
that's one
still a
thing
small
about it.
girl.
It will keep growing.
It can never reduce. Never, ever, ever, ever. So, no. I think a good solution is find other place to snap picture on. That's why I'm looking at digital camera,
Yeah.
all that, so that
I'm
not
about to
everything
buy
is
a
on my
memory
phone.
card.
Polaroids. Maybe I'll buy
Literally,
Polaroids.
yeah. Polaroids are always
Invest in a
cute.
Polaroid.
Maybe they are. But wait,
Yeah.
those Polaroid thingies are really expensive.
The film.
The paper, I'm just like,
Hmm.
what are we
That's
even
why I gave
snapping
up on
going?
it in college,
Like,
bro. It's so
Yeah.
expensive. Because when I first moved in here, I was like, oh, everybody that comes to my house, I'll snap a Polaroid of them. Because I saw an idea of like that. No, someone at my UWC did that. Where everyone that visited their room, they had a wall and it was just full of Polaroid.
that's
I was
so
like, this
cute.
is so cool. I'll do it when I move to my first apartment. Honestly, when all
Mm-hmm.
this is my first apartment dreams.
But you can still do it though. Like,
I used to dream so much. I can't. Then that the power camera I had in college sport, I never bought them now because I was like, the paper is so expensive. First of all, can you go? But let me buy my digital camera first. Then we'll go from there. But I
we
think
move, we move.
I really want to incorporate that. It's so cute. Like everybody
Mm.
that's been in my house, a wall. Oh my goodness! And you guys know me. I like hosting. I'm in my hosting era,
No, she's
hosting
actually in her
back.
hosting era.
So
Like,
when we're in
So
college, every time I have a thing for Sim. See, we have to fight because when we're in college, she was not doing all these ones that
what do
she's
you
doing now.
mean? You guys used
How
to
many
come to my
times?
room in college.
you
What
were
are you
not
talking
hosting.
But
about?
it wasn't
And I'll put the
hosting.
projector. What do you want me to do then?
That's
I was a
hosting
college
now.
student. What do you
That one
want?
too is
I will
hosting now.
cook. We will watch movie. We'll play
That
games
one
Did
is
you do that? How
sometimes.
hosting
many
now.
times
She
did you do?
tried.
But that was because of you guys' schedules. But whenever we were free, I was always down to host. Friends, don't do me like that. Don't do me like that.
Timmy is best in hosting.
I love hosting. I just like having people around. Like I just feel like I love spending time with my friends, right? So it's just like why not create that space where everyone feels comfortable? Because I think this is just secondary school trauma, but it working in a good way.
I
Because when I
bet.
moved schools, I didn't feel welcome at all, and I made it my life mission. Like I never want anyone to feel unwelcome in my space. Like if you go to my house and ask me a question, I'm like, you know everything is do what you want. Don't ask me, oh, can I use your bathroom? Can I have water? I don't like anything you want to just do
It's
here.
true because I'm
Like
actually always asking, and Timmy just look at me like, "Are you new here?"
like
Like,
at this point, this is your house. Like, do what you need to
no.
do. I think that was my response to that because that shit was scary, and I really don't. I just don't like when people are feeling unwelcome in a space or having to
Mm-hmm.
second guess it because I know how I feel. That I don't want people to feel that in my space. So I think that's why I like hosting. I like having people who are like, you do what you gotta
Mm.
do. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's cute.
yeah,
I always felt like I was in Simi's house and Simi's apartment all the time, anyways. But it wasn't like official hosting. It was just like I was always there.
Yeah, you were.
I'm actually dead.
You
I was
were.
just always there. I don't know why. I was just always there.
Yay. So it was
Oh
not official
goodness.
hosting.
Don't worry. Next time when you come to that, I'll host you very well. Properly.
That's not like a threat.
Better do that. How might be my birthday?
Said I
My
will host
birthday
you very
plan
well.
to go.
When is
March
your
is
birthday?
soon.
March.
Okay.
March is soon. I don't know. This is that people like, oh, when I come to your city, I said that is not my city. Oh, you show me around. This is your city. When somebody I don't come and visit, they'll text me. Oh, what's good in Dallas? I said, me, I don't know. You tell me.
How should I know?
I don't know. This is not my city, Joe. Please.
My favorite thing is when people ask me, when people like, oh, I'm coming to Dallas. I'm like, thank God, because I'm in Fort Worth. Like, that's not my business. Like, that's actually none of my business. That's your cross to carry.
Bro.
Thank you for telling me, but like, that's your business.
I actually don't know what you can do here. Like, respectfully. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, your city. You come to my city. Quote unquote.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys. To end off, what are your goals for New Year?
Yeah. Hashtag New Year, New Me.
New me.
See that laugh.
Is it me that is starting?
No, anybody can start. I'm thinking.
Okay,
actually
okay. Please don't wait for me. Me too, I'm thinking.
I think let me just start rambling and then somebody else can stop
Okay.
me. I think my thing is like I want to be the person that is in my head. And I want to tap into my creativity a little bit more because I think this year with the exam that I'm studying for, it requires a lot of logical thinking. And I think because of that, like when it comes to doing something creative, sometimes I have to drag myself to think. And I just feel like I kind of lost that. I want to get back into like reading and just being excited about the arts in general, which is something that I've not done a lot. And then, yeah, like the person in my head, I want to be that person. And I want to, have that vibe that is in my head. Just even with my body, my mind, my soul, my spirit, like the type of friend that I am in my head and the type of friend that I actually am. They're two different things. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I'm just being like accepting of my reality and using like the resources around me and enjoying my life for what it is. Because sometimes, like I was saying with Instagram, like or social media in general, if my life is not Instagrammable, I don't know how I got to that point where I just don't enjoy things because they're not Instagrammable. So I want to change that. Like I want to utilize what I have right now because just be happy with my life the way it is and enjoy everything that's in the moment as much as possible instead of complaining of the things that I don't have, which is hard. But yeah. New year, new me, new season, new Florence.
Yeah. Let's see. What do I want to do next year? I just want to feel more at peace with myself. I feel like next year a lot of decisions are going to be made about my future. So I don't know if I have any. I really feel like I can't really plan too much because I actually don't know what's going to happen next year. But for things within my control, I guess, what do I want to do more? I just want to be happier. I feel like the last 2 years, I haven't really been happy. And that's just because I really haven't put in enough effort in making myself happy. So I need to do that more and just prioritize myself. All the self-care, all that. Like, finally officially start therapy. Like, I've put it off for too long. So I need to do that. Just like, I guess, I'm entering my selfish era next year. I just need to.
Should. See, when you said it now. If I catch you being selfless, trust, you will be dealt with. I've said my own.
Yeah, so those are my goals for next year. Just Put
Yeah.
first. Yeah.
Okay, my number one goal for next year is to become a celebrity hairstylist. I
Period.
am being delusional. I'm manifesting it because I just feel like I can, like, I feel like it's something that, like, I can actually do. I don't know how to explain it, but I always feel like I, like, I'm very much like jack of all trades, like master of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I feel like
No,
with
wait.
hair, if I,
No, master of nothing. That is
no,
crazy.
literally, like, no, literally, like, I genuinely feel like I am not like the best at like anything. Like, I can do a
Mm,
lot of things, but I'm not like, oh my gosh, he's the best person to do that. And I feel like
mm,
if I just picked one or two skills and like built upon it, like I could get there.
yeah.
So I'm going to be my hairdressing bag. Like at this point,
Everybody
I'm just
book
thinking
her.
of how can I like book me,
Mm-hmm.
like
Book
like how
out.
can I get there, and like not just like regular, like only like basic like braids, because I know everyone's like, oh, I want to get like braids, but also like super like being my creative bag, as Florence said, like I want to like get more
Mm,
creative with hair stuff because there's so much you can do with hair, and
yeah.
I really feel like next year I really want to tap into that, like on myself and like on people as well. So, and then what's the second one? I don't know. I guess I also want to be happy. See how I stole from both of you, but like, I guess I also want to be happy. Like, yeah. So,
Yeah. That's good. That's good. We love to
God
see
help
that.
us.
amen.
Amen.
Oh,
Mhm. And my last goal is to not give up on this podcast. That's my last
Oh
period.
goal.
yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah. Maybe we'll take a break. Maybe not a give up. Maybe like
yeah.
a
Like a breather, you know?
sabbatical.
Yeah.
Sabbatical.
Something like that.
I'm
But yeah.
screaming.
Yeah. We'll see.
Anyways.
Faye. Oh my gosh. I don't want this to end. But all good
See,
things will come
it
to
feels
an
like
end.
literally like a FaceTime call. Like,
Literally. Dang. I hope you guys have enjoyed having Faye on this podcast. Don't worry, she's going to come back. I've told all my friends, I gave Messi a head of yesterday. I've given you your one year head count. I'll be head start.
I'm
Because
dead.
Onyeka too, she was like, her year has expired. She came last episode. Messi, I've given all my friends, this is a warning. You are coming on this podcast. I don't know why you bad shy.
I
Faye
don't
is
know why you're
coming back.
threatening us with this.
Yeah. Faye is going to come back, don't worry. So don't miss her for too long. But I hope you guys have enjoyed our introductory episode into the Do You Get Universe. But she will
Thank
be
you guys for
back.
having me. I
Yes.
really, really like appreciate being here. And I met Florence for the first time, so that was also a big plus. Like I love you
Yeah.
see me, but like how many times will I see you? But thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate
Thank
it.
you for coming, for giving us your
Yes.
time.
Of
An hour and a
course.
half of your time.
Imagine.
Literally.
Amazing.
Time is money. Oh.
Cash.
Honestly. Cash.
But make sure you guys follow us at Instagram. Hey, I said at Instagram. On Instagram at Do You Get Pod. Make sure you like and review the episode and send us a dilemma with link in our Instagram bio and also the link in the description of this episode. Honestly, if you guys are going to keep sending dilemma, I'm going to remove it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So if you want to
Because
keep hearing dilemmas, you better send one. Because I'm sure something is happening in your life. I'm pretty sure. You
People
know,
are
I
going
don't
through
know.
a lot.
Like
it doesn't.
literally, it doesn't have to be crazy that my boyfriend cheated on me and has a new baby
Yeah.
mommy. No, it
Really,
can
please.
be it can
Oh
be
my
basic,
gosh.
bro. Please, like we actually, because that's our way of hearing from you guys. I'm look at the way I'm begging to hear from you. People pity me, pity me. Even if you
Please
just want
send
to
us your
greet
problems.
us, just greet us small, eh? I just got to beg you. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful
Yeah.
week. Eh?
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
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 Ah,
I did
you
it.
know,